I grew up in a bigger city, not a town, in Malaysia. And I was surprised that when I grew up, I don't even know my neighbor. At the time, I think the West was really very underdeveloped, you know. My first intention was to actually buy this land and create a suburb for them to stay in.
His vision was to be able to provide that to people who didn't necessarily had access to it.
And then we said, what if we transform this and change the landscape of the West?
We wanted to create an amazing place to live for our residents.
I think in the early workshops we had for the project, the understanding of Woodlea as a client, their aspirations for the project, that kind of gave you the first impression of that it was a bit different, that there was a real commitment to do things well and to do more and to do it better. That was refreshing.
The Woodlea vision was pretty bold, creating something that was very special and something that was special for the community out in the West, ensuring that we had all of that early infrastructure delivered up front.
There's a lot there, and it looks like someone actually cared when they put it together. It wasn't just a case of put houses in, let's make heaps of money. Woodlea quite clearly goes, no, there's a community that needs to be built, and that's what I love about living there.
Being able to have those connections with people really makes me want to go to work in the morning.
I've never had the connections that I've had with the developers that I've had with Woodlea. The passion that they have to ensure that it becomes a community that thrives. They want to be a part of us.
So it was more his vision around, because he grew up, of that generation where they had really rough childhood.
Jordan and her siblings probably had a much better life than I had. When I was young, my father died when I was 5 years old, So I had a brother 2 years old, and my mother was a 25-year-old widow, So when my dad died, it was horrible, no money, no homes, So we were put in the welfare homes, So it was from there that I realized that, some people are actually very lucky to have homes. Most of us don't have a homes, The best takeaway that I can have from here is that we have tried and we have actually succeeded doing what is right that should be done in a development like this. I've been telling the team that over here in Woodlea, we're not building homes. We are building a community.
Since it's a new place, a new community, like a new town overall, it's like where you can start off fresh.
It's been quite amazing to see it transform from what was a working farm.
I was in a four-wheel drive, driving around just really the open paddocks.
I stood on the land with Peng actually in 2014, looked across the paddocks, and the thing that we wanted to do was we didn't want to just create a place.
And then we said, what if we transform this into and change the landscape of the West? When we say we change the landscape, it means not physical landscape, it means emotional, educational, spiritual, and more important, the family landscape. Well, it all began way back in year 2000 when Katie acquired the land.
I saw an advertisement in the papers. It's an expression of interest on this land for sale. To me, affordable housing means affordable living. If you buy a house and build cheap, but the whole area has no infrastructure, no schools, no shops, nothing, then you're spending all your time and your money to drive to keep the school this way, 5Ks. So that's why when we first started, I put Jordan on the job to get the school in.
Desperate home buyers braved the winter's night.
I had a phone call from one of my colleagues. This is going back years ago at the inception,
That particular day was our 4th sales release.
where he says, "Bang, we've got people lining up in the cars in the cold. We've got Channel 9, we've got Channel 7 here." I mean, we didn't ask for them to come.
They got wind that people were
All
camping
went there.
outside.
All
Yeah.
went there, and it came out not as an advertisement, but as news. 7 o'clock prime news on all 4 channels.
I'm sitting on the couch. I see Channel 9 do a live cross to Woodlea while I'm in my pyjamas. So without having a shower, I race in, get my suit on, do my hair, race out to site.
He has decided to fast track the process.
It's very
So to me, that was a testimony of the belief they had in us.
I moved into Woodlea in 2016, so one of the early ones. We were stage 6 when it was super competitive. Basically, we had no, shops or anything like that back then. It was literally us, the sales centre, then eventually we got a doctor's in and maybe a cafe. To see it go from basically being in the back of a display village home, conversion from a garage, to now growing into a huge business that is now part of a shopping centre. It's been amazing to see how much it's grown.
We've been involved with Woodlea since the very beginning. We did the master planning as part of the planning stage. I think from the very beginning, the existing landscape, like the Cororoit Creek, Deanside Wetlands, the River Red Gum, Lignum Swamp, the remnant vegetation on the site was a really major inspiration.
I always love the nature, especially when I come from a sort of city in Malaysia, in the capital city, not much nature. And when I saw this piece of land, and it was such a big piece of land, we call the wood gum forest, I was pretty amazed, There's so many beautiful wild plants which I haven't seen in my life before,
Then it was very important for us that the parks all offered a diverse range of things for people to do.
I think each little area becomes a little community around the park at the centre. I think building like those spaces for people to spend time in is the thing that starts us on our journey of each design of the spaces. And that's always the first piece of inspiration for every park.
We are lucky that every which way that I go from my house, whether it be, left, right or centre, we've got a park within walking distance, and that's really nice in terms of having a young family.
Well, I've been there 6 years. I'm a local police officer. And one night I couldn't find one of my vans, and they were patrolling around the Woodlea area, and a couple of the girls were playing on the slides. So these are grown policewomen, and that was when Frontier Park was starting. And there's these 2 policewomen playing on the slides, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious.
We started playing, I think, 2022. So it was like under 11s. Yeah. Because we were the first few girls. There was only like 3 girls in the team. 4. We were playing in a mixed team. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it was like we were kind of forced to be friends. Before there would be barely any people. Like it was just very small, but now the community and the team, the whole club is getting like bigger, and there's a lot more people.
There's one time when I went to the oval, the field, we have a soccer team there. And when I walk around there, and then some of the mothers recognized me, and they came out and said, "Thank you so much for having this soccer academy. Now my kids are so well behaved, because if they misbehave, I'll tell coach tomorrow." And then they got no soccer for the whole week, and they're so happy, That to me is one of the most beautiful moments, that we actually have created a community,
One of the things that we were committed to achieve was to make sure that there was education, and not just one school, but all the levels of education, from childcare to kindergarten, all the way from prep to year 12.
Having access to schools, primary, secondary, and also a specialist school is something that gives our community a really big, I guess, an option for them. It has a draw card to allow for inclusivity to be within the community and to be something that's a really special part of the community.
They approached the RSL and said, what can we do for the veterans within the estate? And they came up with the idea of the Woodlea Walk of Honour. And because I was the Senior Vice President at the time and I lived in Aintree, I have a sort of my own love affair with the area, and I take it a very special place. So I became the head of Melton's RSL's commitment to the Woodlea Walk of Honour. Walk of Honour is a magical place. Okay, so it starts up at Frontier Park, and it is a commemoration of those within the Melton area and the Melton sort of sub-district, from all the way from the Boer War through to peacekeeping, that have served in operational theatres, who've specifically come from the Melton area. And as you get to Woodlea Town Hall, it opens up into a sort of a quadrangle sort of area. There's a raised stage, and then there's the fountain, what they call the fountain of reflection, or the pool of reflection. And around the edge of that is the ode.
They shall grow not old, as we the left grow old.
They shall not weary them, nor the years condemn.
On Anzac Day, Remembrance Day, we have the eternal flame is lit, that's brought up and lit. It's got 10 LED lights that change every 4 seconds, green, red, yellow and blue.
And it is a very special place.
People get together a lot, like I think it was Flavour Fest. That's where everyone gets together, they try food, play rides and stuff.
There's like a lot of festivals, not like every culture as well. And there's like, anyone can just go to any festival and like they don't have to feel like they don't belong.
Yeah, I feel really proud to have been part of the Woodlea journey, and I think as a career highlight, I think there's not many projects that you can go out and you can see such a huge amount of infrastructure, just the number of families that are living there now.
I want to be able to either myself observe or my kids or family observe in 20, 30, 40 years' time that what we've delivered at Woodlea is still best in its class.
We've really worked hard at ensuring, the integrity is kept. Yeah. And I will also go so far as to say it has been a rather, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, that's the way I view it, to have been involved in a project of this scale from the start till now.
But I think the key thing is to leave behind a legacy, not just behind, but also a way forward. And the baton can be carried forward by other developers. People will then use it as a benchmark, and they can raise the standards. If they keep on raising the standards and elevation, then the beneficiaries is not just the shareholders, but also the wider community.